Hey guys, nice to see you again. Today on Steps to Survival, I'm gonna build a $5 survival kit, so stay tuned. So here I have $5. That doesn't look like $5, does it? Well actually, although I am an American citizen and I was born in America and both my parents are American, I actually do not live in the United States right now. I'm actually living in the country, I'm living in Ukraine right now, and so these are grivna, and so this is equivalent to about $5.50. This is 150 grivna. So I'm gonna go to a few dollar type stores here in Ukraine, and I'm gonna try to make a $5 survival kit. Actually, I won't be able to show inside of these stores because they're really strict about filming. So guys, I'm back from buying my $5 survival kit here in Ukraine. Anyway, I just want to give you guys some advice when you do build these survival kits, and if you want to make them as good as they possibly can be. I like to make these different lists and different ways to see what the priorities of survival are and try to see where each one of my item fits into these priorities. And then I know that I'm not buying anything that I shouldn't, and it's just, I think it's really helpful to have these kind of guides. Here is actually what I bought, but I don't want to show you that yet because I'll go through it. But this is just the different survival stuff. So I'll keep this to the side right now. I want you guys to see here, these are the 7 priorities of survival, which is the main stuff. Mental is first because you want your mental state to be good. That's right away. First aid is second because if you're bleeding, if your leg fell off or something, that's more important than like already trying to get food or water. You need to treat your first aid first. Number 3 is fire because it's so versatile and it can bring warmth. Number 4 is signaling because it's good to survive, but it's better to be found. Number 5 is shelter because human body can only last for about 3 hours in bad conditions. So you need to get some shelter, water, food, and pretty self-explanatory. Anyway, so I'm just going to go through these and I'm going to show you guys how I've met almost every one, of these survival priorities with my $5 survival kit. Another thing for you guys to keep in mind is I do live in Ukraine, and I've lived in Ukraine for my whole life, and the prices here are a little bit different than in America, and it's actually a lot cheaper here, and so I may have a better kit than some Americans would have because it is cheaper here. So here's my kit. It's a huge bag, and I managed to buy a lot for only $5. Actually, the end price in dollars was $5.94, just because the dollar changed in the week that I bought this, and so it kind of messed up my whole thing, but that's alright. It's still around $5. It was 150.85 grivna, kopecks, whatever. So yeah, that's about how much my kit cost, and it's fairly large, fairly heavy, and so let's just go straight into this. Let's dive into it. I'm just gonna open this bag. Let's see, let me get a good angle. Okay, so really in here I have kind of 3 modules. Let's go to the first one, and let's move this out of the way because we don't need it for now. So this is survival tools. This is the things I'm gonna use actually in my survival. And if you look here, yeah, so these are the actual, this is not counting food or water or anything like this. This is the survival tools. Let's get into this, and I'll go ahead and show you guys prices for different stuff. I hope this video doesn't turn out to be too long. Okay, so let's get into this. So here's my bag, different stuff. Okay, let's go first. So here, let's just pull this whole thing out. I have this kind of weird. See, there's Ukrainian, which I speak Russian pretty well. This is 2 tablecloths. These tablecloths are 120 times 150 centimeters. I don't know how much that is. Maybe I'll annotate it right here so that you guys know. But they're fairly large enough for me to fit under. And with the both of them, I can create a pretty normal shelter that will keep the rain off of me. And these were cheap. If you look on my list, 2 tablecloths, 20 hryvnia, which is 80 cents. 2 tablecloths. So 80 cents for 2 of these tablecloths. They're fairly durable, and I really like them. Okay, so that's the first item. Second item is this poncho. This poncho can keep the rain off me. It can also assist in doing this shelter. And the poncho cost me 16 hryvnia and 95 kopecks, which is equivalent to this cost me about 66 cents. Right now it might cost a little different because the dollar has changed since I first bought this. But it doesn't matter. Okay, let's go on. Hey guys, I'm sorry for the interruption, but I just want to tell you guys one thing. So I live in this huge city, and I can't just go out and do survival stuff outside because there are all these people, and it would just be weird. And so some of this stuff that I'm going to show you is indoors, and so it's going to look a little weird, but it's the best I can do, and my family is so busy I can never go out into the woods with them, so I mean I can, but not very often. So it's kind of unlucky, but still I try to do bushcraft indoors if you can understand what I mean. So this is the shelter I set up using the 2 tablecloths and the poncho. Now this would all be like trees and stakes and different stuff like that, but I just use chairs because I can't pound a stake into it. But actually, and that would all be staked down, but I can't pound a stake into. But here is my little shelter. So you can see, it's long enough for me to fit in it. You can see me too well. And I have this little cover here, and protects me from the rain and everything. So I just have these taut line hitches here, my favorite knot, and so I would build that outside better, but for $5 it's a pretty good shelter system. Next thing that I bought, and since I do have such a limit, I can't buy any nice knife at all. Most knives that would work well, even cheap knives, cost about $5. So this is just a horrible kitchen knife that's bad quality, super thin, but it'll do for cutting my rope, cutting other things that I might need to do. I don't know how well it'll cut wood, but it will do some fruit prep since it is supposed to be a kitchen knife. What I liked about it is it came with this sheath. This was the only knife that came with the sheath, and this was only 50 cents. 10 hryvnia, 50 cents. For this, to be honest, I'm not sure if it's worth that, but it's worth it. 50 cents for a knife is worth it, and it'll do my basic cutting task. I also, just for versatileness, I don't know, that's not a word, I put a 90-degree spine on it, so if I did happen to have a ferrocerium rod, which I don't have in this kit, I could use it, or just for scraping bark. This is stainless steel, it says, but I tried it with a piece of flint, and it did make a spark, so kind of confused about that one, but I guess I could try that. So there's my knife. I hate the color, it's horrible. Okay, let's go next. Here we have these fire starters, and I'm going to try these out, but they're this. I've never tried these, but I hope they work. They're for getting a fire started, and yeah, dry fuel is what they're called. They kind of, I don't know. I'll try these out, and I'll show a video of that right now, but yeah, I hope they work. But there are 6 of them in there, and I'm pretty sure they burn for a long time, but I think those will do a good job. Next thing I have, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to say the price on this. So this was fire starter, 32 cents, or 7 hryvnia and 95 kopecks. So that's, oh, actually there are 8 of them in there, but that's a really good deal. Here we have a flashlight, and when I was looking for a flashlight because if you do happen to get in this situation and it's nighttime, you might have to see stuff. So this is one of my tools. It's very important. First thing that I bought was actually this cheapo flashlight that weighs nothing, that casts bad. It's a pretty horrible flashlight. You can't even get the battery out, but it cost like me 50 cents. So I wanted to buy it, but then I found this flashlight, which was about let's see, about $1.99, and it's a crank flashlight. So although it's not as bright, it'll last a lot longer. You push this here, and it's not as bright, yeah, but it'll last a long time. And this is fairly bright enough to see in the dark, start a fire, something like that. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm kind of making this too long. But next thing we have in here, I got this lighter. I put this tape on it, no reason at all, lanyard kind of thing. But this is just a lighter. I got this for 20 cents, 5 hryvnia. And this, you're probably dying in your seat seeing how cheap this stuff was, but that's just what it's like in Ukraine. Pretty awesome. It's a green lighter, Bic. It's pretty visible, and people say they have problems, they can't see lighter fluid. Just a quick tip here. If you put your flashlight in it, I don't know if you guys can see that. I think you can. You can see how much fluid it has. So people always complain about these lighters. If you take a flashlight and you shine it on the bottom, you will be able to see the fluid. Just a quick tip. Okay. I didn't actually come up with that, but I forgot who did. So, this is twine. I have no idea how much this is because it just came like this at the dollar store, hryvnia store, whatever. It's more like the 20 hryvnia store is what it's called, or like 10 hryvnia store. Let's see. This twine cost me about 20 hryvnia or 76 cents. Again, a great deal for how much you get. It's not strong, but it's usable. And I can use it for cordage, and I'll show you why I chose these items later. And then here I have matches. This came in, I think, an 8-pack of matches, and I just took them apart. These matches, you're gonna have a heart attack when you learn how much this 8-pack of matches cost me. 11 cents for this 8-pack of matches. Crazy. That is 2 hryvnia and 80 cents if you're interested in that price. And last thing I got here in the survival tools is this container. It's metal. I can boil water in this, purify it. I can also cook food, and you'll see why I might use that later. Okay guys, let's take a look at a few things on my list. So I've shown you all the main items here. And let's look at the 10 C's of Survival by Dave Canterbury. So cutting tool. Cutting tool, I got that. Let's see, what else do I have? Combustion device. I got my lighter, I got my matches, I got my fire starter. I think combustion device is pretty much covered. Let's see, combustion device, cover. I got my poncho, and I got my 2 tablecloths. And I also got my mind, which will help with a lot of everything. So I think I got covered. Kind of funny? No, not really. Container. I got this. There's also another thing I'll show in this kit that works as a container, but this will boil my water, so that's part of the container. And number 5, cordage. I got cordage right here. And also candling device, which is one of the 10 C's of I dropped something of survival. I got that. All the other stuff, cotton bandana, compass, cloth, cell needle, I don't have. Sorry. But I do have the 6 C's of survival. And then if we look at, this is what I was thinking about when here, just a second. When I first was doing this kit, this is what I wanted. I wanted shelter, fire, container, signaling stuff, and tools. I don't have anything in here for signaling, but if you think about this, that's signaling. My fire is signaling. And just a whistle, it was too expensive. It was about a couple dollars for a whistle. I just didn't want to waste my money on that, so I didn't buy that. But for now, I got the 6 C's of survival, and there's still more.